Welcome back for episode 80 of our road to 1500. We are at 1293, which means we have an opportunity today to hit 1300. So that's quite exciting. We're going to play a game of 1510 rapid. Let's go and have a look at who we're going to play. We have been practicing hard. We have been learning hard. Let's see if we can get a position, get an opening that we have been practicing. That would be great. Okay, we get the white pieces against a 1320 who's been playing for a few years from the Ukraine. We are going to play the king's pawn to e4. So this is the highest rated player that we've played against in a rapid game in the sort of pool. And they're doing that immediately. So I think what we do is push in the center. And so take. We're going to start castling before them if we do that. And they'll have to redevelop their pieces. So, although they can, hang on. Yeah, so if we take, they could just take here with the knight. Let's do that. Okay, they move back there. Interesting. Check. Right. This is our bad bishop, so we'll give him a check. If he pushes, we push. Kind of has to. Their white light square bishop is their good bishop, so we should be happy to exchange it. Our light squared bishop is our bad bishop. So I think we should be prepared to exchange. If they push, we take. They're probably considering that. Okay, so they are doing that. Take. What are they going to do? Take the pawn. Let's drop this back here then. Okay, opponent does that. Let's just get our bishop there. Our opponent's probably... Right, I'm going to bring my queen here. So take. I'm going to castle long, probably. Let's do that. So no, they've got this open file for the king to attack me, which isn't ideal. I get my rook that way. So that was a bit hasty doing that. Okay, all right, so we're going to lose an exchange, guys, but not to worry. Let's just focus here. So if we take and they take, we take, they take, we just get two pieces for the queen. I think we're better off just losing the exchange. Bring the queen over here. Yeah, we were a bit quick to castle there, I think, guys. We should have actually just calculated that a bit more. Let's just bring the queen back over here. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to take that. Okay, so if we push and they take, let's develop this. So hang on. So if they bring, to be honest, actually doing this is, so if we bring this here, they can't bring this here, and it protects this pawn again. Let's do that. We need to develop this knight. Not ideal because it sort of stops my queen coming along this diagonal, but there are benefits. So Opponent's playing super quick. Okay, so attack this, come here. Think they're trying to attack my king. So they're probably going to bring a rook here. I mean, I can defend like this. Let's develop our knight. I'm expecting them to do... Okay, let's move over. Interesting. I think our position's held. What can we do? So if we come here, they go there, come... Yeah, we need to be a bit careful about that. We need to be a bit careful about that, guys. Let's come here. We're threatening this. It stops the queen getting out. Now the queen could come here. Opponent's being tricky. They're up an exchange. They're probably feeling confident, but and they're probably going to try and mount some sort of attack. I have to be careful because this knight could hang if I push. But actually, I could bring the knight here, attack this. Looks quite good. This is defended at the moment. Okay, let's try this. Right, so we're attacking this. I think they probably have to bring it back here. Or they could protect like that. Okay, I mean, that's just check. So we just won one of their pieces. So they were probably not spending enough time. So that helps us a bit. I think we're an exchange. They have a rook, but we've got 3 pieces. So I think maybe exchanging the queen, trying to get the queen out of here is probably not a bad idea. Yeah, that looks quite good. Because that actually protects. Okay, and this is protected. Our queen is protected. So we're attacking their queen. Okay, they've gone for that. Right, we are attacking pieces here, guys. That's hanging. So this is hanging. Okay. Okay, but we can push up here. If they take, we take. We have an open file to attack. We get rid of that pawn. So push, en passant, take. Let's go for this. So they come in here, we take them. Getting ready to attack this. Ah, guys, this is looking quite good. Right. Let's attack this pawn. I think this bishop's pretty strong, guys. Trying to do as many things as we can with tempos. So here. Opponent's having a think on this one. So this is a 13-20, guys. And it's 9 for a win, 8 for a loss, and +1 for a draw. Yeah, so they're defending that. Okay, so if we come over and they push, we take. Yeah, looks pretty good. Let's attack it again, surely that's good. So take, take, take. And then it would be like a rook and a knight against 2 knights and a bishop. Alternatively, I mean, we take and they double, we're pinned, which I don't like. So if we take, they take, we take, they come over and then we play this. I think it works. Actually, they can't come over here because the knight would come back in with a fork on their king. Yeah, I don't think it was the right move to take with the knight, guys, because we would get pinned by we'd have two rooks. And we've got to be careful of the back rank. So do this now. Take. We can just bring the king over. We've got just under 7 minutes. Our opponent has played fast. So we don't have quite as much time as them. So we're going to have to be careful with our time management. So we're playing the Vienna game. It's something that we've played for a long time, but it's not one of the sort of openings on Chess Mood that we have been learning. We may look at, I think it's the Scotch game that they recommend playing with white. So we might start to look at that soon. So they're having a think here. I mean, if they double up the rooks, take. I mean, we've won another pawn, so we just have to be careful about back rank. I do think this bishop here is very valuable, and we don't want to give that up. This knight is quite restricted. Okay, they've gone for that. Right, so take. Okay, so the step over. Yes, there is no check now. Okay, so if we come here, so here, develop that. Let's bring this knight into the game. Pushing this looks quite good. Come here, check. Goes there. Check. Take. We win the rook. Think we've got a pretty strong position now, guys. Time is starting to even up. So I think we're threatening coming here with the knight, so to d5 and then to e7. Put them in check. If they ever try to attack this, I have got this. It forces them to move. One of the reasons why I put the knight here is that then they can't come here. So they probably have to do something like that. I think exchanging pieces is probably okay for us now, guys. They might start trying to push this. These two pawns are not as strong as our 3 here. And there's a 3-on-3 here. To be honest, so I think this is a really good move because they probably have to take. If they came here and took, we could just take like that, keep these pawns connected. If we come here, we are threatening check. They have to go there. And then that would be check mate if they move the rook. And if they haven't moved the rook, then they would have to take our knight and then we would take back. So that looks very strong. Well, if they try and attack this now, we've got to be careful because, yeah, so if they come and try and attack this now, I could do something like that. We'd have to be careful because if they brought the rook here, I think just supporting it like this is the way. And we do, because if they ever got the rook to the back rank, that would be checkmate for us. So we do want to think about pushing this pawn at some point to give ourselves a little bit of space. But it's a slow move, and what we're doing at the moment is just sort of continuing the pressure on our opponent. So if they do this, I think we need to do this. Okay, exchanging off is okay for us, I think. I mean, it blocks in the... I mean, we could just come here and take this. Let's do that. Take this. It would be... I think exchanging would be fine for us, but by keeping the knight on the board and the rook, and they're quite trapped in there, they're kind of limited on what they can do. And our opponent has abandoned the game, guys. What a way. We have done it. We have outplayed them. They did make a blunder. They've given up because we had so much pressure. And we are up to 1302. We have broken through that 1300 barrier. Let's go and have a look at the analysis. I think we kept our composure. We messed up the opening, but we ended up playing an 88% game. We pulled it back after taking a dip. You can see the opening was considered to be dubious, but our middle game accuracy was 92.5%. And we played a very accurate end game where we were putting them under pressure. So we did make a blunder, but our opponent gave us an open door and we came back into it and we've hit 1300. So I'm very excited about that, guys. Let's have a look at this. So this was all good. Pushing was actually a nice idea. This was fine. This is all good. Okay. It was kind of suggesting to come back here. I suppose it's sort of this pawn is then pinned. They can't push it because the king's a bit trapped. And there's no way for them to challenge the bishop with the pawns. So I can see why that was a better move. So we should have done that. And this was our blunder, guys. We castled long. We didn't look at this threat here. The bishop held by the knight and they found the move and it gave them a 2.35 advantage. We did the best thing. It said for them to take this pawn. Taking the knight was the best thing to do. I was a bit worried like this knight could come here next and that wouldn't be very nice. So we just got rid of it and that was fine. And then this was good. I did want to blockade the pawn with the knight. That was another thought that I had, but I thought this pawn chain's good and Stockfish thought that was okay. So they had an almost 2 advantage here. Bringing the queen in, I didn't see this move, halved their advantage. We did the best thing. It was saying that they needed to get out of there. We actually we used 2 minutes and we used that time wisely because we brought the knight here and we're attacking this pawn. And this is a blunder and we found the great move. Oh, I thought they were just... I actually thought that they blundered the bishop, but I hadn't actually fully appreciated that we were essentially forking both pieces. So just with those 2 moves, so this knight move and this knight move here, we've turned it completely around and we have actually forked their queen and their bishop. They move the queen out of harm's way and we're able to just take the knight. So that was very nice. Now we're up material. Let's try and get the queen off the board. They obliged with that one. And yes, we kicked the knight. This is all nice. These pawns here were quite restricting their knight quite well. And this is where I think we really started to utilize our pieces. This was excellent. Now, what I was worried about is if we did this, it wouldn't be as good. You can see that as an inaccuracy. I thought they might do something like this. Oh, I suppose I could have gone check. Oh, right. Yeah, check. And then if they take, I can take their rook. So it would have actually been okay, but I was a bit worried about that. Either way, it was an inaccuracy to take with the knight. It was the better move to do what we did. This is all good. They moved out of the way because we could have gone check and they would have had to have given up the rook for our knight, which we would have happily done. They did this. We brought our knight in. They did this. We could have exchanged. It said exchanging was the best move, but actually I think doing what we did forced them to... They just gave up at that point because they could see that there was nothing that they could do to save the pawn. They would have probably done something like move the knight into... Well, actually, they can't do that. So if they'd have moved the knight here, we could just take it. So there's no real way, because if they did move their knight there, they'd be attacking our bishop, but they weren't able to do it straight away anyway. So they would have had to have done something else. We would have won this pawn. Maybe then they'd attack our bishop. I would have probably just dropped this bishop back and we would have been fine. And it was at that point that our opponent just gave up. So we have broken 1300 and we will continue on. Let's see if we can make our way up towards 1400 now. This is very exciting. If you have watched the video all this way, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. Comment if you want to join the conversation, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers. Bye.